Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you. Another episode, Coffee with Coach. Bringing those mental vitamins to your morning. Again, if you didn't wake up on the right side, we are going to help put your mind on the right side today so you can have a positive, productive day. So today I got another good one. Listen to the Jocko podcast, and he's talking about normal face. What is normal face, man? It's really, really good stuff. Like I said, a lot of this stuff I can relate to. Because it's just things I've either done or think, or the way I act, or the way I coach. And this here is a lot like the way I coach. So normal face. What is normal face? He's talking about showing no expression, no emotion, far as negative emotion, And he's talking about it's in his podcast. So the guy asked him, he's like, well, how do you practice that? So at home with his kids, he would take. He said the inside of the gift wrapper, like the little kind of like a paper towel roll, and he'd line his kids up against the wall, and the first one to make any kind of expression on their face, he'd give them a little bop upside the head, to let them know that they broke their expression. And so this guy's asking him about different situations, scenarios with normal face. And so he goes into a couple of them, and I wanted to share them with you because they relate to jiu-jitsu and they relate to just everything in life. So he's talking about how do you practice, normal face. How do you do it? You put yourself in stressful situations, or anytime you're in a stressful situation or in a situation where you don't really want to be in, or it's bothersome to you, you have you keep a good expression on your face. Don't show that you're upset. Don't show that you're, pissed off, like you're just mad and you don't want to be there. You just have normal face, right? So he's talking about one of the examples with his kids is the guy says, well, my kid was climbing a tree, or he was climbing something and he fell. And they were at a park or something to where there was like other parents watching. And the wife wanted to run over and be like, oh my God, to see what happened to him because he fell from a decent height. I think they said like 6-7 feet, whatever. And he said he grabbed his wife and he told her like, hey, don't go over there. And he said when the kid fell, he just kind of looked like, how should I react? And he went over there, checked on him. He was all right. But if he let his wife run over there and be all frantic and panicky, the kid would have started crying right away because the mom's tripping out, right? So he's trying to control the situation, calm down, let the kid think it out for a minute, and it really wasn't that bad. And so they're talking about like road rage. He said, he gets questioned all the time with road rage, like how do you handle road rage? And he's talking about normal face, like you just don't let stuff like that bother you, right? You're in the line at the DMV and they're taking forever, you're twisting, turning, making expressions, sign, talking out loud, complaining, isn't going to help the situation any. Just have normal face, right? And then he starts talking about leadership, okay? And he's talking about how horrible it is for leaders to break mentally and show weakness. And he actually says, it's really bad for a leader to show weakness and to be like a loser. Your team needs you. And when things are going tough, you don't know how to control your emotions, assess the situation, see how you're going to work your way out of that. And instead, you're just frantic and panicky and just, oh my God, like you're all over the place. And so how are your men or whoever's following you supposed to follow your lead there, right? So he goes, man, that's really tough for me to see leaders break like that because it ruins the whole team. They need to know that everything is going to be okay. And he's like, you don't lie to them. Like, let's say, for instance, the boat's sinking. Like, you don't run around and be like, oh, the boat's sinking, we got to get out of here. He's like, no, you assess the situation. All right, get some life vests. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And we're going to do X, Y, and Z to kind of like, save ourselves, so you have some kind of direction there. You're not just all over the place with your emotions. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, man. You read something on Facebook, someone gives you some bad news. I don't know, something crappy happens to you and it just ruins your day. Okay, no normal face. You're tripping out. You grab your phone, you're texting, you're putting things all over Facebook. You know, people are like, "Oh, are you okay?" You know, and it's really not that bad. You know, it's just something that you just lost your emotions for a second, and now you're all over social media and everything else like that, just tripping out. When all you need to do is just breathe it out, calm down, have some normal face, and see how you're gonna fix the problem. Then he's talking about, so that's what I like about Jocko. He does jiu-jitsu, right? So he said, and this is the thing that I tell my students all the time, when you're getting crushed in jiu-jitsu, you know, you got to have normal face, man. You got to act like it's not bothering you. You got to act like, you know, it's not having an effect on you. You're getting smoked on the mat. You're down on points. You're mounted. Your back's taken, whatever. No expression, normal face. You know, I do that all the time. And I try to get my students to do that because I see in between rounds, because they talk about a lot of the times in between rounds, you'll see guys or students, you know, just flop over the round, the bell rings, and then students will just fall over, whoo, whoo, you know, they're just laying there making sweat angels, and you know, I make my students get up, like you need to get up and walk that off, man. You're just letting the next person that's getting ready to roll with you know that they're just gonna smoke you, man. They're gonna be all over you because look at how you look laying there on the mat. You look broken, you look weak, you look tired. You know, some people would look for, you know, partners like that, you know, rolling partners. Oh man, look, that one's tired over there. Let's go jump on that one, man. It's time to feast, it's time to eat, because they look weak and tired. They look done. Stick a fork in them, right? So when I see students do that, I do the exact same thing. Get up, walk it off, like hide your emotion. Don't lay there in between rounds, which also, you know, doesn't really sit too well with me, is when people kind of lay there for a while and then they got to tie their belt, then they got to tie their pants, then they got to, you know, whatever, then they got to get a drink of water. Then when the bell rings, they're like another 30, 40 seconds into the next round. It don't work like that at my academy. In between, you get a minute and a half, I think minute 40-second rest. Get up. First thing we want everyone to do is tie their belt, get a drink, shake it off, get ready for the next round. Be in front of a partner. When that bell rings, you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to do things, and you got normal face, you know. So I think it's just really good stuff that I think everyone can relate to and practice all the time, especially if you do jiu-jitsu. Because there's just days where, yeah, everything's clicking. You're clicking on all cylinders. You're having a great day on the mat. And, you know, you're winning every round, so it's all good. Life is good. But what about those days when you come in and nothing's clicking? You're questioning, you know, the belt that's around your waist. You're wondering what the heck's going on with jiu-jitsu. Your jiu-jitsu sucks. And when you get up off the mat, or when you're walking around on the mat, you just got your body language speaks volumes of how upset you are, how sad you are. And when you walk out, you know, I tell my students all the time, like, man, no questions. You guys don't have any questions. Like, there's a lot of sad faces on the mat right now, and you guys are going to walk out of here and not ask any questions. Like, that makes no sense. Like, when I was a white, blue, purple, brown, and my instructor asked if we had questions, even if he didn't, my hand was raised all the time because I was trying to get the answers to the problems that gave me the problem right there and then. So when I came back to class the next time, I didn't have those same problems, or they wouldn't be as bad, right? Man, so many students, man, I was like, man, you guys, jiu-jitsu everyone must have had a perfect round. No questions, but so many people, half the mat looks sad. The other half looks happy because they were kicking butt today. But the other side, you know, just looks emotionally broken. And then after practice, you'll see the Kermit the Frog meme for jiu-jitsu, where he's looking out the window and the window pane is all rainy, and he's like, I wonder if jiu-jitsu thinks about me. Like, you know, they not only did they show it, my students show it on the mat, but they grabbed their phone and they put it on Facebook with some sad meme, how they got smashed, and the crying, you know, Jordan face or something, you know, or the Kermit the Frog, you know, sad meme. And it's like, man, what's wrong with you? You know, this is what this stuff is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to build you up. It's supposed to break you down. It does break you down, but in the process, it's supposed to build you up. And every time you just flop over on the mat and show how tired and exhausted you are, and your facial expressions tell everyone else that you're having a bad day, it's going to continue to be a bad day because you look like you got whooped. And when you walk out, you look like you got your tail between your legs, man. So, you know, normal face, man. You got to have normal face, man. I love that message, man. I love that phrase. I'm going to use it more often. It's just something I've always done. I know there's times where, you know, my students will make fun of me because 7 minutes isn't enough sometimes. We do 7-minute rounds every class, 4 7-minute rounds, right? And depending on who I'm rolling with, I might need some more time. So I just turn the clock off. Like, man, we're just going to roll. We're going to roll until this thing is over, until someone taps, right? And because I know, depending on who I'm rolling with, I need more time to work, and I want it to be a tough, long round and just see who can outlast who. And the whole time, I might be losing the first 6, 7 minutes, but the mindset is I'm going to win these last 10 minutes, you know, or 25 minutes, or however long it takes to get the tap. I'm going to win the end of this round. Can they last like that? Can they outlast me? Can they out-hustle me the rest of the round? Because sometimes we get used to playing to the clock, and we kind of just ride things out, play safe, and then you win the round. But when you turn the clock off, you don't know when the round's going to end, you know? So you got to control your breathing. You got to control your mind. You just don't know how long this thing might last. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you can do that. But I will definitely win the end of that round. So sometimes when they make fun of me because I just pull the cord right out of the wall, like, not today, man. We're going to just roll, see what happens, all right? So normal face, guys, what's going on? Again, you're an emotional kind of person. Like he says, Jocko says in the podcast, he's like, not saying not to get emotional, because you do got to show some emotion, but it's negative emotion, right? You know, Facebook, when you open up Facebook, it asks you, you know, what are you thinking about, or something like that. And man, so many people take that like really literal, man. Like they just, every emotion you have, boom, it's out on Facebook. But it's not a good emotion. You know, it's a negative one. It's a pissed off one. And then here comes the pity party. You know, you okay? Blah, 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 blah. And I just read all the messages like, man, you know, put some positive stuff out there, man. You know, we got enough negative stuff out there every single day. Where's the positive stuff? All right. So have some normal face, be positive, and, you know, make things happen. All right. We'll catch you guys next time.